Hey guys, Be Twice here. Today is Tuesday, June 29th. We're going to be taking a look at SPY, QQQ, and several other stocks to try to make sense of what we're seeing and where they could be going. Obviously, the movements in the market lately have been super confusing, and it's kind of moving in a way to trick traders and not definitively see a wave count. When we're seeing stocks move in the way or behave in the way they are right now, ideally it's not good to trade unless you're buying a dip like a 3 swing, 7 swing, or 11 swing pullback when you can definitively try to guess where your bottom's going to be so you can at least get a pop to the upside. So I've been sitting this out because I haven't definitively been able to get a proper wave count. What I'm kind of seeing now seems to make the most sense. I do ultimately still think we're going up for our one, and we'll get our 3 swing down. What I'm seeing now, and I've changed my wave count today after really looking at it to try to figure out, hey, how does this make any sense? Where is this thing going? What I'm seeing is we pulled up for a one, pulled back for a two. Then we popped up for another 5 wave impulse up to give us our three. We pulled back for our four. And now we're in a 5 wave impulse up, which is ultimately taking us to our wave one. And this is where we're going to see our flush down. So we could open green tomorrow and then flush from there. It could go on a few more days of kind of popping up, but ultimately we need to see this 3 swing pullback. If we don't get this 3 swing pullback, then my count is invalid once again. And that's why it's not tradable. We really need to see this 3 swing pullback to validate the count that came before it. So this is where we want to buy. We want to make sure that we're calling out our dip buy zone because that will validate our count, and that's where we get in. So hopefully we'll get this pullback soon and we'll be able to get in. But until then, it's not advisable to trade. Because you're just simply not 100% sure if your count is correct. So this is what we'll be looking for to buy, and hopefully we can get this 3 swing down either within the next few days or so. All right, so QQQ, same kind of thing. I've been kind of sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a dip buy to occur, just because the count, I haven't been able to definitively say what exactly has been going on with the count. I haven't been wanting to play any shallow pullbacks because it's just with a shallow pullback, you can't definitively say whether it's a wave one, a wave two, wave three, wave four. So it's just not advisable to play. You really want to wait for these pullbacks. Now, with that being said, just like SPY, I went back through and I recounted just to try to really see what's happening. And this looks a lot more clear to me now that I'm actually seeing it. What I'm seeing is that since we pulled back for our two, we popped up for a one, pulled back for a two. We have a 5 wave impulse up for our three. We pulled back for our four. We had a little pop up for one, a little pop pull back for a two. We rallied for a three, we pulled back for four, and now we're in a 5 wave impulse up, rallying for our wave five. So we're likely going to go a little bit higher on QQQ, probably 357, maybe 356, something like that. At that point in time, we're probably going to see this 3 swing pullback, the one that I've been waiting for what seems like a decade now, because I thought it was going to occur way back here, but then these waves keep extending, and we keep having green day after green day. But with that being said, I do think we're going to get this 3 swing pullback, and hopefully we do, because that will give us a great dip buy entry, because this is probably going somewhere up into the mid 360s. It could maybe go up to 370 or even higher at this point because of how high this is extending. So we'll wait for this pullback to get entry, and if we don't get it, then we'll just sit this one out. We'll look for better positions to get into. All right, so Amazon. So I want to touch base on this one real quick. So kind of lagging today, kind of surprising. It did pull back. I'm waiting for this rally to occur. I still think it is coming. I just want to touch base on it because even though this could have been bottom, an A, B, C correction right here, and this could be bottom for four, and we could ultimately rip from here tomorrow. I just wanted to talk about it because it could technically go a little bit lower as long as it doesn't break this like 3350 range. It still could be a wave four bottom. So wave four could occur anywhere in this oval. So if we do see some downside from QQQ or SPY, and the markets do take a dump here in these next few days this week, or being the last day of the month and everything tomorrow, if we do see a pullback, Amazon could go lower from this spot. So if you are in Amazon, I wouldn't sell the second you break this 3400 range, because as long as it doesn't break this 3350, it's still valid. I'm in. I would be looking at doubling down if we go to this 3350 range, because I think on the next leg up for the market, Amazon's going to be the top stock. So I think we'll be seeing it head towards 4,000 in short order. All right, so Tesla. So obviously for weeks I was calling that this pop was going to happen to 660, and then either we're going to get rejected and we're going to be heading down for this bear count, um, somewhere down the 400 range, which is still ultimately possible. What I'm seeing and what I have been seeing is after we broke out of this wedge or this triangle, that it was extremely bullish. It was on massive call buying that we saw this huge squeeze up, and that we popped up for three, and we're in the process of pulling back for our four. So with that being said, just like Amazon, if you're in this position, you've only gone down to 23.6% retracement. You've hit 67.2. I do see this as a 1 and this as a 2, so we could just straight rally from here. But if this is an A, B, C, and this is a W, then this is an X, and that means we're going lower for Y, right? So I didn't draw those letters here because it gets really congested when I do, but just look at A, B, C, W, or W would be here, a pop up for an X, and then you could have an ABC down for a Y. That can take us as low as 660. So if you're already in Tesla, I wouldn't get nervous if it starts going past the 672. This thing could go all the way down to 660 and still be a valid way forward. And it could be a Coinbase move where the count was slightly wrong and it went a little bit lower. So don't get yourself stopped out and miss the big run up because the 4 could technically be, like I said, down here at this 38.2. So just like Amazon, if this does pull back to the 660 range because we start to see some downside in the market, I would be looking at doubling down and I would not be exiting the position. All right, so Disney. Disney I still think is a great setup. We did dip down. Okay, so yesterday I also noticed that I had screwed up my trend line because I drew it off a little bit when I was looking at a different time frame. So I went back and redrew it just so you could see it cleaner. Disney did, after it popped up for one, pullback for two. It did break the out of the bull flag, and now it's in a move down. So no, normally you have your one pop up, you pull back for a two, and then you go up for another one, you pull down for another two. So if we can hold support here at this like 174 range, technically as long as we don't break 171. If we don't break 171, that can still be a valid wave two. But what I see happening is that we have a one, we're in the process of going down for a two, and we're going to rally towards this 190, 200 range from here. Um, so I see an A, a B, and we're going down for C. So I do look for Disney to catch some support here, and I would stay in this position until we see at least break this 170 mark. But going below the back into the flag isn't a great sign, but right now the trade is still not broken, so I would stay in. All right, so Airbnb, I had some people questioning it randomly throughout the week. I'm out. When I saw what happened today, we broke our uptrend line, so that means when I was calling this a one and this a two, and then three was up here somewhere, that's invalid. So this was not a one, this was not a two. If anything, we have a one, two, three, four, a 5-wave move, and then this is a one. And ultimately, what that means is that we could come all the way down here to 137 before breaking higher, or if the count is just completely wrong, then we could be going for another swing lower and we could be going back to make all-time lows or to test the all-time lows. Either way, this uptrend line was really what was holding me in the trade. And as soon as I saw it was completely broken today, I got out. So I am no longer an Airbnb. If you guys like these videos, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe.